Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Good morning, Southern Fried Podcast fans and all you people out there in Cornbread Nation. It's Monday.
Yay, it's Monday. Let's have a
Wait.
fun week and get going. Yeah, I'm running on about 3.5 hours sleep. I didn't sleep great, but I'm here. I am ready to roll. Got my Stop the Monkey Farm hat on. Thanks for getting that to me, Rob. I joined another Bainbridge group on the you're in down there. I told them I would need to keep up with what the goings on is going down there because we interview politicians and we're trying to keep up with that monkey farm.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with it? So happy Monday. Lots happened over the weekend. First of all, we must remember a state that is in mourning, at least part of the state. And it was a rough Saturday night on the state of Texas. They lost their cool. They threw water bottles on the field. They got a call overturned. So if you're from Texas this morning and you're feeling a little rough, it was a rough Saturday night for two quarterbacks for the Texas Longhorns. They both got a taste of some really aggressive and heavy and hard-hitting defense, Robert.
Yes, they did. They did, and it was some hard-hitting defense. I'm not going to get into the officiating on that game because Mama always said if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all, or raise in mortal hell, one of the two. And I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be nice. I'm not getting into it unless you tell me to. And if you tell me to, I'll do it, but I ain't doing it.
Well, if we do, it'll be later in the show. We'll be nice for now. But way to go, Georgia Bulldogs. As Kirby said, nobody thought we would do it. You all counted us out, including your little four-letter network. But we didn't come here to take pictures. We came here to eat. They did. Then there's another state in mourning. Another part of a state in the South is in mourning tonight, or this morning, the state of Alabama. It was a rough trip to Neyland Stadium because they lost to the Tennessee Vols, who are now, they didn't move up though. I think they're a solid 7. Maybe they moved up 1. But how the mighty have fallen. Alabama falls to about 15. Wow. And then I think Texas fell to about 5th, somewhere in there, 5th, 6th, somewhere in there. I'll be nice. I just say they hadn't give up touchdowns. They were bragging about that, Yeah. Didn't give up any touchdowns.
That's kind of like bragging about not having to give up a touchdown in the first quarter all season.
Yeah. It was over pretty quick. And then, there was some good games, some really good games. On the Sunday side, the Falcons decided since the Georgia Bulldogs play so well, we'll play really bad. They reverted back to the Falcons of old, and they looked horrible on every phase of the game, except maybe Robinson running back. That's it. But everything else was a complete disaster. They go down in flames. Deshaun Watson takes a probably season-ending injury in the Cleveland game. Of course, I think there's probably, not that you want anybody hurt, there's probably a few fans that are not too upset about that because he played so bad all year. They're probably like, let's get Jameson Winston in here and see what we can do. KC beats the 49ers. Mahomes is the magician, I tell you. That guy, man, his run up the sidelines, he just punked them all out. I mean, the guys, whether you can hate the guy, but you have to respect his ability to just make up stuff. He's like the ultimate backyard football guy. He's the guy at quarterback who goes, just go out. I'll figure it out. I mean, I know they call plays, but I don't think they stick with them. I think they just all go out. If a play's open, he goes to it. If not, they just know to start running around like we did in the backyard, and start trying to get open.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oh, none of his own. I'll just take off and run, and I'll run for almost a touchdown and not get hit, and run around about 6 or 7 defenders." I mean, the guy's amazing, and he can throw the ball from any angle. What an amazing athlete that guy is. And I know he's some people hate him, some people love him, but you have to respect the talent of the guy. So it was a great weekend weather-wise here in our area. Beautiful, cool, brisk mornings, but beautiful sunshine. I mean, just absolutely picturesque weather, Rob. After all the storms and stuff we had, we're in a cycle of really nice weather. I saw in North Carolina some temporary bridges that have been built. I guess, temporary until they can just build really, really big, nice ones, but sturdy. A lot of supplies going into the area. And on that note, have you talked for a minute, Rob? I want to bring up something a friend of mine asked me to announce on the show, all of our shows for the next week or so. Gotta find it though. So you can now be not nice about officiating.
Oh, well, how do you call a holding penalty, and then the stadium get upset? Now, it was a bad call. I'll agree with that. And I sent you a text that said it was a bad call. It was a bad call.
Yeah.
It's a non-reviewable call. But then because everybody gets upset and throws their water bottles and beer cans and stuff out on the field, and we have a 4-minute and something layover, then the officials go out there and they just overturn the call. If nothing else, they were both doing the same thing. Why didn't they just call offsetting holds? I mean, it was obvious. They were both doing the same thing, offsetting penalties and let the game go on. Instead, here we go, back and forth, and then and two targeting calls in the same game. And one of them, both of the guys were trying to get underneath the other one. And when you go down, your head's going down. It wasn't like it was intentional. It was on either one of them. Both of their heads were down on that second one. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, and the two players will miss the first half of the Florida Gator game.
Yeah.
No, that's not good. But
the officials were trying to help them out. I understand, Texas, and it's okay. It's okay. The Georgia Bulldogs went in there to Texas's home stadium and played against the fans, played against the team, played against the refs, but they still won.
Well, and that hit that the corner put on Ewers was one of the best decleaters I've seen in a Georgia game. I'll say a decade. I've not seen a hit like that in a long time. Clean, good, old-fashioned football hit, man.
Textbook. It was textbook. Wrap him and take him down to the dirt. And I mean, it was quick.
Oh, man. From that point forward, he was deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
He was so rattled, they put Peyton Manning's little nephew in.
Arch.
And Arch.
He got welcomed.
He got welcomed pretty hard, too. And they both sitting on the bench with us. Wow, like what truck just ran over us, look. They're good kids. I'm not putting them down. That happens. That's what you want to do in a game, especially when you're on the road like that. You want to bring it. You want to bring the heat, and you want to make sure that they know that you're there, that you're going to be there all day long. You better pack your lunch. I'm coming, and I'm bringing heat every play. So it's here. You just go, baby. Strap up and go.
Now,
and
I do want to bring up one thing, though, from Georgia's side. How many interceptions did Beck have?
He didn't have a great game. He had a bad game.
Yeah.
He had
Georgia
some moments
came out
where he did good. He's got to do better there. The running backs did
good,
really well. But it was really the defense, man, and the running game that really, kept us out there. I'm going to
hear that? You hear that, Mike Bobo? Running.
I'm not the only one. A good friend of mine that retired from our company here months ago or a year ago, whatever it was, he had about the same post. Could Mike Bobo please call a good game from a fan? I mean, the guy is so predictable. That's what he was saying. Every play he calls is predictable.
Yeah.
and he tries to get cute when it doesn't call for it. It's like he's trying to get his resume up there. Just run the ball. We were saying it all through that. Run the ball.
Yes.
It's like one of those drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. Run, baby, run. All things shall come to pass, except for the Georgia Bulldogs. We shall come to run.
The campaigns are in full steam. Obviously, early voting is going on. Georgia is up over 1 million early voters. My household has went and voted, so we are locked in, and it has been brisk across the state. There was one issue with one machine in Whitfield County, and I'm sure they got that one taken out. Be sure to check your ballots after they print, though, if you are in a state with a Dominion machine, because you print it and then you scan it. So you got that time between printing and scanning is your last look at your ballot. So make sure that it done. It's happened before. They pull them. I'm not going to get into the controversy about Dominion machines, but I would just say that always the election workers are going to advise you to please review your ballot. They do that. So I want to bring up. I have a pastor. He's going to be coming on with us, Chad, and I've got to find his. He's doing a GoFundMe. There's a pastor in North Carolina who lost everything. He didn't have flood insurance because he's in the mountains. He didn't think he ever needed that. So he's not going to be, they're not going to rebuild his home. He lost every sermon he ever preached. I mean, he just washed everything out. I think he got out with the clothes on his back, man. And they're trying to raise $10,000. A couple of churches are getting together, and they're going to buy some stuff and take it up to him. So I'm going to find that GoFundMe. I just overlooking it this morning, Monday morning overlook, but I do want to bring up something else. And whether you go to these people or not, I think I might, just to support them. But there was a veteran, a Marine veteran, I believe she was, that was pulled off of a airline, and they said that her shirt was offensive and needed to be removed. And she was pretty well devastated. And the shirt is about veteran suicide, Rob. And it's from an apparel company called Till Valhalla, TILVALHALLA apparel company. Valhalla, however we say that. But anyway, there's one. I'm trying to find the one that she had on. There's a story about this on the New York Post. But and there's nothing controversial about it. And they have many different ones. I'm trying to figure which one. They have a number of sayings on here. Let's see. I'll find it in a minute. I'm on their website right now. And anyway, she was just like devastated. She didn't cause an issue. She did it. She had to have the guy stand guard so she could change her shirt on so she could get back on the plane. But, she undressed basically and changed her shirt in front of everybody, and he did. And the guy was not, mean or anything. It's just that they did that. But anyway, you could go look at their. I'll have to look up that story, but I don't know. It wasn't the one day at a time, but our story is not over. Maybe was the one, but I don't think that was it. But anyway, they're not controversial. They're very supportive about the 22 a day. They've got different ones. And he's seen her shirt and said, you have to remove that. And she said, it's promoting to, for not to have veteran suicides. I'm a veteran. I mean, I'm a service member. I think she was there with another Marine as well. But anyway, that's unfortunate, Rob. That's unfortunate.
Since when did airlines become the woke police? Come on, it's not your job. It's your job to fly somebody somewhere and let them off.
Well, about the same time, some of the passengers became weak-kneed and they can't handle anything, and they get offended and everything. There are some things that does need to be covered up. Certainly, things that are of a sexual nature that is graphic, or I would say if it's promoting, Adolf Hitler or something like that. I mean, I think we understand that. But this was not a controversial. I think it was "Don't Let the Hard Days Win" or something like that. Anyway, it's just sad. And
Yeah.
she was asked, she was going to have to leave the plane if she didn't do that. So not only did they, bring embarrassment when they didn't need to about, your shirt coming off the plane, then to be able to stay to get back on the plane, she basically had to undress in front of people and have him stand in front of her so she could change her shirt out real quick to another shirt her carry on so that she could get back on the plane. After all, you don't want to miss your flight. I mean, and obviously I don't know if she was headed back to base, but she has a schedule just like anybody else. And catching another plane might not be an option. You know what I mean? So I just hate that. And I thought of George Eshelman and the Keeper movie and all that when I saw that. That's just really, really sad. But I'll figure that out. I'll find that story and figure that one out. But yeah.
Well, I got us a little city up today. If you would like to hear about it, it's so small it don't even have pictures. You believe that? We've got a beautiful small town in Oklahoma called Cookie Town. Cookie Town, Oklahoma. We want to give you a big salute this morning. Cookie Town was named for a mercantile at the crossroads owned by Marvin Cornelius about 1928. He was noted for giving cookies to children. So that's a good thing to be known for, but maybe back then, not in this day and age. Cookie Town, Oklahoma, huge population of 10. It is not the smallest city in Oklahoma. We will cover that one at a later date. But Cookie Town, Oklahoma, population 10. We'll give you a great big salute.
Be proud and loud.
That's right. All 10 of you. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love these small towns.
10 people can be pretty loud if they want to be,
Yeah.
Especially if they're all doing it at the same time. They can cause quite as we would say here, a ruckus. They can.
Yeah. They could cause a ruckus or make some noise so it's amazing, like you said, how much noise that 10 people can make as they're, just think if 10 people got together on that plane with the Marine with a shirt that they had to take it off. Just think if 10 people had gotten together and said, you leave her alone, stop messing with her, let her wear a shirt if she wants to wear it. But then, one person would say, but I find it offensive. It's bothering me. It's got a word I don't like on it. So now, you got to subject this Marine, or maybe she was a veteran. I don't know, but she was at least a Marine. She deserves some
active
respect.
service.
So, she's active service, and you're going to subject her to all this, because your feeling got hurt. There was no word on there that you didn't like. If 10 people had gotten together and said, look, you kick her off, kick us off too, and it doesn't bother us, but nobody wants to help or take up for anybody anymore. Let's just let it happen and see what comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, and even if it was just the airline, if nobody complained, I mean, is that your policy now? I mean, maybe some more retraining or something here to understand something a little more, I mean, that's unfortunate,
Yeah, and if they, why retrain them? I mean, they want to be the woke police now. These airlines, I mean, their head is so big. Let's tell everybody what to do on our plane, but they're still in American airspace, a lot of them, and they need to obey American rules.
Okay, she is a Marine Corps veteran. This was 2 days ago. She was removed from a Delta flight and forced to change over what they determined to be a threatening shirt. And that shirt, it was a male flight attendant, and he approached. He said, ma'am, I look around, and he said, ma'am, she said, I look around like, who is he talking to? And it was me. Or he said it was me, and he said, you need to get off the plane. I was like, what did I do? She complied, was escorted off the plane onto the jet bridge, where she finally learned why she was removed. He said, "That shirt you're wearing is threatening." And she said, "I said, are you kidding me?" A dumbfounded Banks questioned the employee before explaining that she was a veteran. "I'm a Marine Corps vet. I'm going to see my Marine sister. I've been in the Marine Corps for 22 years. I worked for the Air Force for 15 years. I'm going to visit her." And the shirt says on the front, "Do not give in to the war within. End veteran suicide." Robert, that's threatening. End veteran suicide. Don't give in to the war within.
And how
It is
many,
from that.
if this is something that could be considered threatening, how many of Delta's employees did she pass and walk by and encounter and talk to before she got on that plane?
By the way, she said it did not faze the flight attendant who'd issued her an ultimatum to return to the plane. Now, this is according to her. A quote, a flight attendant said, "I don't care about your service, and I don't care about her service. The only way you're getting back on this plane is if you take it off right now." Banks, who was not wearing underwear up top, was told him to turn around so she could replace it with a sweatshirt. And it is part of the Till Valhalla project, as part of the 22 a day collection, which brings awareness to the estimated 22 veterans who commit suicide each day. And we think it's more, but still that number is a given. So anyway, that is so unfortunate, man. That is just so unfortunate that she was done that way. I'm glad she got on her flight. I hate that she had to go through something like that.
Me too.
And I
That's
would
not a good
send
way
this.
to treat people.
I
That is
would
a
send this.
horrible way to treat somebody.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
would send
don't
this
do that
employee
to
to
people.
retraining. And
Yeah.
I would want to know. The company, I think, is reaching out. They're appalled at this.
Yeah.
The one that produces the shirt, and they would like, I'd say there'll be an apology coming, and they'll say we're retraining the employee and all that. But you know what? I think in a case like that, maybe you need to go get another flight attendant and just say, "Hey, listen, this is what's going on back here. What do you think?" And if they say, "Oh no, that's veteran suicide," then you've avoided something. Maybe
Yeah.
if the other one says yeah, then okay, then you're both in the hook for this. But I realize they have a tough job. It's not hard dealing with people, and there are people that need to be removed from planes. Yes, there is. Um, but can you imagine if that had been a religious slogan from some, we won't name a religion, but a religion around the world, and you told them that was a threatening thing, and
Yeah.
you're going to have, can you imagine what would be going on today? This
Oh,
story
there'd
should
be
be all over the news, and
I'm
it's not really.
fervor over that. People would go trying to crawl out of their skins left and right. I dare to say, salute to you, flight attendant. You're a good and lockstep liberal.
Well, if they can't understand, well, and this goes back to why we do our MAGA minutes now. This goes back to something I said in the MAGA minute, and it's really, even if it's not a woke liberal or whatever you want to say, it could be just ignorance about the military anyway. Used to be a time when more people were connected to military. That's not the case anymore, Rob. Because the numbers are down and it's hard to get the quotas for our military service. And not as many people are connected to the military. So they're clueless. They have no clue about veteran suicides. They don't know anybody that serves in the military. In fact, they probably have a negative view of the military anyway. Because some of our service members have been treated horribly at restaurants that say, "We won't serve you because of that uniform," and stuff like that, or because you have an American flag on or whatever. That's the world we're living in. And what I said in the MAGA minute is we need to get our children, we need to get these children to air shows, we need to get them to museums, we need to take them to veteran events and parades, and show our children how important it is, what these men and women are doing or have done to defend freedom for our nation, and have a positive outlook on that and ingrain that in there. Instead, we've got colleges that are promoting this kind of crap, I could say it that way. And there are rich and powerful people in our nation that believe that. It's just ridiculous. You're so ignorant, you don't even understand that there is a problem of veterans committing suicide daily by the droves, and you find that shirt threatening. Come on,
Yeah.
When's the last time you picked up a weapon and went and defended the cause of the United States on a foreign field? And you want to talk about threatening? Let's talk about threatening when you have to go into a battlefield in like Iraq or Afghanistan or somewhere else and be shot at. Let's talk about threatening there. Maybe you'll get a whole new idea of what is or isn't a threatening shirt. Come on.
And what they don't realize, someone like that doesn't realize that since the beginning of the war on terror and stuff like that, there have been more military member lives lost to suicide than have been lost in combat in the last
Yeah.
20 years. Now, think about that. It's more dangerous for them to survive and come home than to face a bullet. I mean, come on. And you're going to say, that's threatening? Come on. You're a knucklehead. You're Tim Waltz. You're a knucklehead, admittedly. And you've got approximately the same amount of brain cells as Kamala does after she finishes her laugh because they all die from oxygen starvation.
Well, Robert, you were going to be nice. I mean, somewhere in the middle of this, you went off the rails.
Hey, it's your fault. Uh. My goodness, you don't get me started on these knuckleheads.
See, it all started with water bottles raining out of the sky against Georgia, and now you've done went and you jumped on Mr. Waltz.
Hey, all I've got to say is yeah, that's not probably. Does she not remind you of the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz? I get you, my pretty. And your little dog too. You got the teeth sticking out there. That is such a fake laugh. It's bad enough that she cackles, but it's even worse because it's totally fake. It's like her laugh never touches her eyes or the rest of her face. It's just her mouth. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I could picture her sitting on a park bench beside Tim Waltz, and Tim Waltz looking over at her and go, those look like comfortable shoes. I like comfortable shoes. Do you want a chocolate? Sorry.
By the way, happy birthday, Chickmate, our friend Juliet.
Yeah.
YouTube, Chickmate from YouTube. If you follow her true crime channel, we put that up. We got a lot of likes on their horrible rendition of Happy Birthday, but it was funny. But we mean it with all sincerity. And my wife's birthday was on Saturday. So happy birthday to Lynn and to Juliet Saturday and today. And we're not sure of Juliet's age.
50.
Although we're going with that number 50, and we'll let her clarify
50.
later.
She's 50.
Actually, she did tell me her age, but I don't tell women's age, so I'm just going to go with what you're saying. So,
50. She's 50.
I think you might be a little north of the
50.
age.
50. We're going with 50. 50. It's easy. It's fun to say and everything else. It's 50.
Rob, pull up our overlay. Let's do a quick commercial, and maybe we'll do ARA as well. But pull up that overlay, and let's talk about, folks, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got some new affiliations going on with for the podcast that will be a help to us. One of those, Rob, we're proud of is Mammoth Nation. You can see right there in the middle of the screen the QR code.
Yes.
Go there and become a monthly subscriber and buy from veteran, American made, American owned, American supported, veteran supported causes and things from
conservative values.
Yeah, conservative and Christian values. Mammoth Nation. You can QR code there.
Anti-woke
For sure. Then we have Dubby, the energy drink. This is supposed to make you sharper. I'm waiting. I've got to get mine in so I can hopefully get a sharper mind, Rob. I need it. It has no sugar, and it makes you think better. And I need that. Dubby. Use promo code Southern Fried when you go to their website. 10% off the order, and it helps us. We need that. We need the sharpness of mind, Rob. We do.
Well, I know you need to sharpen up a little bit, and you've got
I
a
do.
real big point there. I'm glad you're wearing a hat to cover it up this morning.
Oh, I know.
Cold
Stop the
man.
monkeys. Stop the monkey farm. Help me out there.
Yeah.
And then if you would like to give buy us a cup of coffee, so to speak, we have our PayPal and Venmo QR codes as well. We thank you for your support. You'll be seeing more coming. We're working on things every day.
Yes.
So please support these great causes. And when you support them, you support American-made businesses and you support the Southern Fried podcast. So remember, promo code Southern Fried for W, and then just go there to that link on Mammoth Nation and help out this great company. And in turn, you will be helping us. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Yes. And ARA coming up next.
Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are.
He's back. That was not a long commercial break.
Well, you could have played one more. You got to hear my coffee make now. So
It's okay.
it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay on a Monday morning.
Make a little pod thing.
That's right. I've got the Black Rifle Coffee Company right here. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, veteran owned company. There are others that are veteran owned.
They sell real coffee. They sell coffee besides the little pod thing,
They sell everything you want, including the makers, I believe. All kinds. They are really into their coffee making. Who knows, Rob? One day
I've noticed a lot of women like Keurigs and crumbling their biscuit.
You better watch out.
Wear pink shirts, huh?
Better watch out. You don't get the fan mail coming in.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Who knows, Rob? They may see Southern Fried and on a coffee bag one day. One day.
One day we just might.
We might have some brands of coffee. So, time, folks. Give us a little time.
We're working on some stuff. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Folks, you see our email at the bottom of the screen. We will be beginning soon an email. Not overloaded your email box, but we will be sending newsletters weekly, once a week. If you'd like to be on that list, send us your email to that email. We will not share that email with anyone. We're setting up everything through MailChimp. And Robert, we're just getting started, but we're excited about a new phase of the Southern Fried Podcast and moving forward. So we're giving you information we haven't told anyone else yet. You're hearing it now.
The only way I can say that name now is Chipmunky.
I know. I think it's because this is what I think. This is where your brain works, Rob. It's taken me a while, but I kind of understand how your brain works.
Okay,
I've done it over 30 years, but the word association with you is so strong, it's going to overrule everything else. The problem you have is, and remember that it's MailChimp, is that you love the Trunk Monkey commercial. And I think that's probably
all I see.
Is that not it? I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Monkey chimp.
Monkey chimp. Chimp monkey.
It's throwing you off, man.
Yeah, it is, because I could just see it. Here's your mail. Comes out of the trunk. Here's your mail.
Yeah.
They go by the mailbox. They pull the trunk up there. The trunk pops open. He reaches out, opens the mailbox, gets the mail, closes it, closes the trunk back, and you're driving under. Here's your mail. Hit you in the back of the head. I could see that trunk monkey.
Well,
and that's so.
Yeah.
It's
And we go all the way back. We remember Clyde, and
Yeah.
Clyde, that messes us up, man.
right
Route
turn.
turn. Yeah, we remember all that.
Bang.
Oh,
Clyde
man.
was amazing.
And if
That
you go
movie
far
was
enough back, I don't know if you're quite old enough. You go far enough back. What was the show with the guy that had the monkey that drove the truck? That was a
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and
Yes,
the Bear.
I do go far enough back. I loved me some BJ when I was a kid. BJ and the Bear. Yeah.
So
BJ McKay, and this is my best friend, Bear. Yeah.
no, I don't even remember that part. Wow. I definitely hit on something you like because I don't
And then
remember
there
that.
was, his arch nemesis that ended up hitting his own show, Sheriff Lobo.
Sheriff
Remember
Lobo.
that? You
Kind
remember
of,
Sheriff
sort of.
Lobo?
I don't think I watched it much, but I do remember
He's our Sheriff Lobo.
Gentle
Mighty
Ben,
Sheriff Lobo.
which had a bear in the show. Gentle
Mm.
Ben. Wasn't that Ron Howard's brother that starred in that, if I'm right?
Gentle Ben. You mean
Isn't that Gentle Ben? I don't remember.
oh no. That was I gotta look that up. I know it. And I watched it too because it was cool.
There was a lot of animal shows in the 70s, sitcoms that
Yeah.
had animals in them and movies. It became a popular thing. And of course, on the Tonight Show, the guy would come in, bring the animals and stuff. That was a big thing in the 70s about animals and stuff. And in the 80s, I guess it was where I don't know if he was on TV in the 70s, the guy that you like. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like him, but I think you watched him a lot more than one that got killed. That would always
Grizzly
do that.
Adams.
No, there's another one too, man.
There was another one that was called Gentle Ben, but the one I was talking about was Grizzly Adams. I remember watching it.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
Oh man, and there was another show that I used to
What was
love.
the Crocodile Hunter or the dude that died? You like that? When did he come
Steve
along?
Irwin.
80s? Yeah, Steve
So I
Irwin. Was that 80s? 80s he come along?
90s, I think.
90s.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. There was another show that I really liked, and it was corny now. Oh, it's so corny now. I'm just trying to get the years on it so I could put it in a frame of reference. There it is. There was a TV show, and when I was a kid, it just grabbed my imagination and ran. It came out in 1979, so I would have been in the 3rd grade. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think didn't have it like 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then they had like the second whatever. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
We're definitely fans of 70s TV shows. That some of them are a little cringy as you look back now.
When you go back and look, I was like, oh my gosh, that fascinated me. Oh. But yeah.
But I have this LED light thing that my sister got me on my desk at work. And I have 3 different things I can trade in and out. I want to find some more. And people are fascinated by it. One of them is Star Trek. It has the Enterprise. 2 of them are Star Wars. R2-D2 and those CP-30 and the Death Star, which is great on a Monday. Put the Death Star up. People come in of all ages, all backgrounds of folks that come in and they're fascinated by this thing, and they'll go, hey, where did you get that? I love that. I was a fan. I grew up watching Star Trek and Star Wars or one or the other or both, and they'll pick it. They'll ask if they can look at it. They get the information, so they try to find that. One guy popped in and goes, I found it. I'm going to order it. Man, I found it on Amazon, and he loves it, man. It is the absolute best conversation starter ever for my desk. And at night when I leave, I'll leave that on. It's just because it's really low power, and people will see that as they walk by my office. And I mean, I've had engineers, people that drive lift trucks, and people that are managers, and all in between. They come in and go, "Hey, Dave, I really like that." I mean, it just draws them in, man. It really does. It's really amazing. But I thought of that because I thought of how many of those folks were kids like me, and they were watching, those same shows or movies when we were growing up. And Star Trek, of course, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll go all the way back to Star Trek." Yeah, Spock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then they'll talk about the movie. And then everybody now, I do want to say this: everybody that I've talked to, everybody, Robert, on the Star Wars side, they're done with them. The woke stuff has killed their desire to do anything with Star Wars merchandise, movies, or anything anymore. I've heard this from every single person that's come in and talked to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
They are so disgusted with what they're doing in the movies now. They said no more. And these are people that have invested a lot of money over the years, and spent a lot of money on those platforms, those things, those businesses, because that's what it is. It's a business, but they are not happy with the direction that, especially Star Wars, is taken.
Yeah. I liked The Mandalorian when they put it out. I was really upset with the way they did the actress on there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that
Yeah.
at all. They just canceled her. And,
Well, they tried to destroy her career.
Yeah.
I keep up with her. She's doing well. She's actually got some parts again, not there. She's making her stand on how she feels. She just expressed her opinions as a citizen of these United States, and apparently you can't do that anymore without full retribution from the powers that be.
Yeah, it's a mind wipe. I mean, come on, let's face it. If you don't do lockstep with what they think you ought to think and say and be, then you're not allowed to work. Come on, go away. Y'all need to be canceled. Really, really. I mean, what gives y'all the right to exert an imaginary control over somebody else? Well, it's not imaginary; it has real consequences. But where does your ego get off that you decide you are the police, you are the thought police, you are 1984? Read the book.
Well, Rob, can imagine it's just like this. You work in a factory, and all of a sudden they come and get you and terminate you and say, "Well, you said you support." We'll just say you support Donald Trump on your social media account, and we don't want your kind of people working here anymore. Which has happened, by the way. Some people that have had Trump stickers on their bumper stickers and stuff. I've known companies that have terminated people for that. Those stories are out there, and that's alarming. If you went through your job, whether it's in a building of cubicles of computers or a factory or whatever it is, and if you went around, and let's say there's 500 people that work there, and you went around and you talked to 500 people, you're going to find a lot of people that y'all don't agree on stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, you may be way far apart, but you work together, you have respect for each other, and you're there to do a job. And what you do when you go home is on you, and what I do is on me. And we're not saying those things on the job. I just find that very alarming, Rob. It's really sad.
They didn't hire you for what you were thinking. They hired you for a job.
For what you could do for them.
Yeah.
Working.
And if you're doing their job and you're working and you're showing up every day, it's none of their business what you think. This is still America. Now, if you put it out there and somebody don't like it, even if you put it out there and somebody doesn't like it, you have a right to express your opinion. Now, the workplace probably wouldn't be the best place to do that, but a lot of people keep their mouths shut at work. But if they got it on their bumper sticker on their car and then they get terminated for it, I don't agree with that. That's their personal vehicle.
I work with a guy I'm not saying name or anything like that, but I work with a guy. This has been a few years ago, and he had a bumper sticker on his vehicle, and another worker came to him and said, "You really should remove that. You shouldn't have that on your vehicle." at work. And well, I'll just say that he pretty much told her what she could do with that thought, and he was offended then, and that's just where we're at, right? I don't
Yeah.
think that they meant it like as a put down, just more as a protection. But you know what? Leave me alone. People just have the thing where just leave me alone, let me be me, and you be you, I'll be me, and we'll just go on. But that's not so much anymore. I mean, it is sad. It is sad, and you know, I mean, we have guests on sometimes, and sometimes those guests are think way different than we do, but we're not we're bringing them on because of something that maybe they're running for office, maybe they're you know, maybe, and they may have beliefs that have nothing to do with the election or anything. They just have other beliefs that we don't question those.
No.
We don't bring them on here for this. None of our business, really. I mean, you know, so everybody sees that, but it's just unfortunate, you know. But yeah, you can't go against the grain anymore, or they'll try to just bulldoze you down.
But
They really, and they work together with media and some social media platforms, and they try to you know, this cancel culture they call it, where they just try to cancel you. Now, you know, you got to get up on. You know, sometimes you're hidden because nobody really sees you there. But start getting a little bit of following and see how quick somebody just jumps on you. You know?
Yeah.
We've had it happen. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
We
Even
took
here, our little show.
our little corner of the world. We've been attacked.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. We like it. And lets us know we're doing our job right.
No doubt. Thank you to all the people from X and Twitch in the stream this morning. Some of our regulars didn't make it out. They're probably tired on a Monday, Rob.
I know one or two of them's from Texas, aren't they? Isn't one of them from Texas? Or some of them? We got some from Texas. They're probably in shock and awe and just depressed this morning. Just depressed. You know how they get in Texas, you know, when they lose the ball game. They just get a little bit depressed.
Well, and even I just mean locals, people we know that they're not up. Usually they're up and about,
Yeah.
but pray for them this morning.
Yeah. I'm missing a couple. I'm missing one especially.
Our Santa Claus we had on has been in the hospital. Pray for him, Mr. Zen. He has had pancreatitis, bad attack. He was in the hospital. Got to get him better. He's got to man the post of Santa coming up.
That's right.
Rock City.
Right.
But pray for him. He said it's bad. He said it's been real bad. He said he didn't know that it could hurt like that.
I hope he gets back in time for up there because I'm planning on trying to get up there for Christmas.
I think he's on the mend. I think he's, you know, when you get older, on the mend is a slow journey.
Really?
You know, when you're a kid, you bounce back really fast. When you get older, it takes a little longer to get over things.
I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, sure you do. I've heard you whine on here on Monday morning. I was mowing all weekend, and I'm just a little sore and tired this morning. So.
The way you said that, I could have sworn you were fixing to say, I was born a poor black child, but
No.
I'm sorry, that in itself was a great movie, The Jerk. Oh, come on. I don't know how people couldn't like that movie. I guess it's been canceled now.
Oh, I'm sure. Like Blazing Saddles.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand how you could cancel Blazing Saddles. Now I know there was a lot of racial overtone in this movie, but you know, Mel Brooks was going out to make fun of everybody and to show everybody how silly we are for our stereotypes and all this kind of stuff. And just so if you wanted to be offended at that movie, he gave you every opportunity. But if you wanted to sit back and laugh at yourselves, I mean, just belly laugh at yourselves, he gave you every opportunity.
That's the key word.
So
right? The world has forgot how to laugh.
Yeah. And we need to get back to that.
The world is angry.
Well, we need to stop being angry.
It wants to be angry at you. And a lot of people have forgotten how to laugh. A lot of comedians have been canceled.
Yeah. You can't laugh anymore.
It's
you can't joke.
It's starting to change back a little bit more now because I think a lot of people are like, you know what, I want to laugh. I want to go to the
Yeah,
comedy club.
people should laugh. It's important to laugh. Just going around and being, well, I'm just this kind of face all the time. This face. Have you seen this face on people nowadays? I'm not gonna laugh at nothing. I'm gonna be miserable, and I'm gonna make you miserable too. And I'm gonna get you canceled. And
And
come on,
me and
it's like a
Paul,
kid throwing a tantrum.
years ago, I was in Atlanta and we were trying to pull out on the highway. And my buddy was driving, Paul, who's actually been on here, and he wasn't used to this. It was a hard intersection to kind of pull out of. I was leaned up a little bit to just help him, not tell him how to drive or not, but just help him to look and see if anything's coming or anything. And all of a sudden, I heard this real snarly prune face when I turned around and finally saw it. What I heard first was this lady said, "Well, if you keep your big fat head out of the way, I might be able to see how to pull out in the parking lot." And I just turned my head. Yeah, it was a face like that, and I turned around and I didn't miss a beat, and I said, "Well, absolutely." I said, "How are you doing today?" "I was doing fine before I met you." I said, "Well, I hope your day gets better. Let me move my big old fat head out of the way so you can pull out." I told Paul, I said, "Paul, let this lady out. She's not having a good day. We want it to get better." And boy, she just snarled up and stormed off, squealed off. I thought I would hate to go through life that angry. I wasn't gonna let her get me down.
Oh, what does that old say? Kill them with kindness.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
You know, but there comes a point in time when they've insulted you and talked about your big fat head. Now, don't get me wrong, your head is large. But when this old lady
Oh,
comes
sure.
up there, gets up there, not as big as you, fat head. And when this lady pulled up there and said, "If you move your big fat head, I could see how to pull out." You tell her, "Well, if you didn't pull right up here on top of me, you might could see around. Why don't you learn to drive a little better, sweetheart?" And they come at this again. But you could be nice about it. You don't have to be mean about it, but you could be nice and get your point across. But you learn how to drive a little better, sweetheart. I'll help you. Let me show you how to apply the brakes so you're not pulled up so far to where you have to try to look through people's heads. I mean, now granted, large head, I understand, big, big, big head, but she didn't have to pull up that far.
That same shopping center one day I turned down the lane the wrong way. Didn't mean to. I was just looking for a parking space and I wasn't paying attention. It was packed. And I go by this lady, and I'm sorry, ladies listening. I'm not picking on ladies. It just happened to be that both of these were ladies. And the windows are up. It's summertime. I got the air conditioning going. As I pulled by her, she is in a full rage. And she's pointing at me. I mean, spit is coming out of her mouth, the veins sticking out, her face is turning red. And she's basically saying, you're going the wrong way. But she is throwing, because I'm reading her lips, she is throwing every curse word she ever learned and probably made up a couple. And my wife says, "My gosh, what's her problem?" And Lynn didn't realize what I said. "Well, I just realized we're going the wrong way." I just waved at her. I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot." Well, she just hit the gas and took off. I'm like, "Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah, appreciate it.
There's a better way to handle it, Dave.
There's a better way to." I thought, why would you want to have a heart attack like that?
Are you ready? I could have, if you'd have just started pointing at her and just dying laughing, like, with that big old head bouncing around in the car, and you pointing at her and laughing, my goodness. That's why she was mad you was going the wrong way. She couldn't see around your head.
Well, it's too bad. I blocked the sun.
That's right. It's an eclipse.
Oh, real quick before we, a couple of quick news and notes before we get off here today. The GoFundMe is called Support North Carolina Ministers in Flood Recovery. And so if you can see that right there, and they're trying to raise $10,000. There's the goal right there in the center of the thing. And this is to help a couple of ministers up in North Carolina. So if you see that, you want to help, please go help.
Yes.
Anything will help. If it's $1, I know everybody has money issues these days, But if you want to do something out of your heart to help somebody, I know these people, and I promise you, this is legit. And we talked about it, and they're just trying to be a blessing. They're going to take the money and buy supplies and drive them up to these two gentlemen. I thought it was one. It was actually two, and so they're not asking for a whole lot, $10,000, and so hopefully their campaign will really get kicked off this week, and they'll do good. So that they'll get going, and also don't forget tonight, Mama Said, 7 p.m. And for those that, I don't know if there's anybody here that missed it, my the news desk from Sunday night we didn't just drop it.
Yeah,
we were busy. I will get that done this week, way before we do the next one. I'm looking for a time spot in there. I will post something if we do want to get that in. It's important, but we were actually working on podcast stuff and trying to get things better. And kick that can down the road, Rob. Kick the can down the road.
And in honor of it being doing Mama Said tonight, I want to give a shout out. I'm not going to call a name, but I happen to know a brand new mama. She's been mama for a few months, and I'm going to try to get her to come on the show. But I want to give her a great big shout out and thank you this morning. You know who you are. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yes,
because our follows on Facebook have jumped. I mean, a lot. 232. They're up to 235. Excuse me, 235. 235. So thank you to all those, and when you see this program or whatever, if you do, thank you.
Look, we have huge followings on some others, but for some reason, Facebook and YouTube just grow slow.
Yeah, they do.
And it's just slow, and it takes time, and we don't, we're just here, and we like watching, getting our follows and stuff. But that was amazing last night. Thank y'all to all y'all that jumped in, and thank you to that very special person very much.
Absolutely, like she deserves a salute.
Yeah, salute. I mean, she put it out there, and we appreciate it. If y'all enjoy the show, go ahead and like, follow, share it out. And we appreciate it heaps. Like I said, we've got big things coming, and y'all keep your eyes on us because we working this thing pretty hard. We're doing it because every time we turn around, we find another avenue that we can use to promote the site, and promote the you guys, the fans and stuff, and Cornbread Nation and everybody. It's another opportunity for us. We feel like, we put the word of God out there, that we definitely do that. We pray, and this gets all that out there. And we're here for you, and we're glad that you're here for us.
Amen.
Yeah.
In fact, I stopped by and saw over the weekend Angie's Decatur Diner, Miss Angie, and they were just, their business is up. And I don't know if we had any correlation of help there, but it can't hurt. And it was such a blessing to see all those folks, and a fine breakfast to be had. Let me tell you, I really enjoyed that. And they do check in with us, and I think listen sometimes. Yeah. So shout out to them. We appreciate you so very much. We're working on some other businesses. Shout out to the pastors that will be on. We've had one on. We've got another church we're going to highlight. I just got to get it together this week. Yeah. And then other churches will be coming along the way.
It'd be awesome if Angie's Decatur Diner played our podcast while they were in there eating breakfast from 6 to 7.
That would be awesome.
Oh. And Lord have mercy if they played that song for us that we sang yesterday. That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, man. We're not going to get invited to the 7th inning stretch at the Braves game. We
might. Oh, it was beautiful. Dave, you were a little off key, but, it was okay. It was still beautiful. Just a touch off key, because I told you take high. I should have told you take low. and I took high. But it's okay. It's okay. That was my fault. You know, I thought you could get that note, but
And you
thank you
thought
for trying.
you thought you were on key.
No, I didn't say I was on key. I said you were a little off key. I was way off key. Don't worry about that. We're talking about you right now. We'll talk about me later.
Well, we'll have to do it tonight because it is 7:00.
All right. Hey, you guys go out and attack this Monday. Be deliberate. Get through it. You can do it. I know it's hard. You're recovering from the weekend. Yankee boots on. Get to it. You got this. And we will see you tonight for Mama Said. So y'all have a great, big, good day. Salute. God bless. Dave, you got anything else?
I'll see you tonight. Have a great day.
All righty. Have a great day. Where is that? It won't let me do that. Okay. All right. I got to find something here. I'm trying to set this every day, and it's not letting me do it. I'm going to have to talk to these knuckleheads. I know it's knuckleheads. I'm going to have to talk to them to get this stuff fixed because I don't like the way they're doing me here. Because every time I go to hit the outro, it makes me.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.